Hello and welcome to today's news from Vanguard Life. My name is Damola Ogunshakin. Let's begin with the front pages of the daily, starting with Vanguard. Vanguard is leading with 2027. Articles exit won't affect our fortunes. PDP, MAKINDE BODE GEORGE says. Why I resigned from PDP, that's coming from Atiku. Its exit means nothing, that's according to PDP. It won't affect PDP fortune, Governor MAKINDE says. And according to Bode George, ex vice president has confirmed his selfishness. You can see that story on page 5 of Vanguard newspaper. And Shatima, Atiku, Obi, Kingbe, Zulu, Erufai, others pray for Buhari in Daura. Southwest governors to Tinubu, you are stretching our patience beyond civility. Pipeline protection. CDS charges communities on ownership of national assets. On sports, we are ready for Zambia. And on the top right corner, we have on page 8, operating environment remains ash. Businesses groaning. That's coming from NECA and NLC. Nigeria's problems. Obasanjo and Yauku disagree over 1999 constitution. Obidients deny alleged rape between Peter Obi, Nenadi-Usman. You can see that on page 9. And lastly, on Vanguard newspaper, Nigeria's inflation rate declines third consecutive month to 22.22%. You can see that on page 19. And the Punch top story this morning says 2027 tensions. Barry's CPC bloc may dump APC. Some CPC chieftains are likely to quit, but APC remains unshaken. Dakas, according to Shitu. You can see that on page 2. And there are photo stories here with the rider that says Shatima Atiku will be attend Buhari's Fidel in Daura. You can see that on page 2. On page 12, 151 top police officers under investigation, says MPF. Fayoshe Whips has court clears ex-governor of 6.9 billion fraud. Insurgency, NAF to acquire 49 new fighter jets. And lastly, on the Punch newspaper, JAMPO covers 9,460 illegal admissions in 20 tertiary institutions. Page 19 has the story, and that the nation's leading story this morning says and knocks for ex Vice President Atiku after dumping PDP for third time. I left because of irreconcilable differences. Exit of no effect, says Makinde. You can see this story on the front page, and it continues on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. Otudeco exists the first holdco in 323 billion naira due. Inflation drops for third time in a row. Federal government plans end to fish imports. Above the banner, Obasanjo Kudifa, no need for new constitution. Lastly, on the Nation newspaper, why Southwest should endorse Tinubu for second term now by Kayode Ojo. You can see that on page 4. And lastly, the Guardian's leading story says Buhari farewell, Obi Atiku defend the absence as Lukman flags a shift in endorsement. Tinubu showers praises to lead Buhari's tribute at FEC meeting today. Atiku's PDP exit letter aimed at stealing spotlight for Buhari's death, says Keyamo. Shatima leads Fidel prayers for former President Idaura. Chinese president sends condolence message to Tinubu. You can see that on page 6. On newspaper 3, CPP advocates a trade policy instrument to further ease inflation. Oshu residents raise concern over Adeleke Aregbesol's face-off. Federal government blames rising cases of cardiovascular diseases on high sodium intake. Party leaders on face as Atiku dumps PDP the third time. Lastly, on the Guardian newspaper, alleged 6.9 billion naira fraud. Court acquits and discharge Fayoshe of money laundering. You can see that on news page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. And that's all we have on the front pages of the dailies. Join us after the break for a brief analysis of some of the stories. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar yesterday announced his resignation from the People's Democratic Party (PDP), citing irreconcilable differences and a shift in the party's direction from its founding principles. The PDP Oyo State Governor Sheyi Makinde and former Deputy National Chairman of the party, in a swift reaction, said Atiku's exit would not affect PDP's fortune in the 2027 election. However, the former vice president, in a letter dated July 14, 2025, an address to the chairman of PDP, Jada One Ward in Adamawa State, formally terminated his membership of the party with immediate effect. Atiku, who served as vice president from 1999 to 2007, expressed deep gratitude for the opportunities the party afforded him, including running twice as its presidential candidate. In addition, he said his decision was driven by what he described as the party's departure from its core values. This would be the third time Atiku would leave the PDP. In 2007, the former vice president left the PDP to contest the presidential election on the platform of the defunct Action Congress (AC), which was funded by the then governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, now president. He later returned to the fold. Also in 2014, Atiku and seven PDP governors, as well as other leaders, left the party to form the All Progressive Congress (APC). He contested the APC primary but was defeated by late former President Muhammadu Buhari, who later won the 2015 presidential election. Atiku returned to the PDP, where he secured the party's ticket to contest the 2023 presidential election. Meanwhile, reactions have trailed the former VP's exit from the party. The PDP yesterday dismissed the resignation of the former vice president, describing it as nothing new, and urged Nigerians to shift focus to more pressing issues such as hunger and economic hardship rather than political defections. A senior member of PDP's National Working Committee (NWC) said exclusively to Vanguard in Abuja that Atiku's move did not come as a surprise. On the spot, Governor Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State downplayed the exit of its former presidential candidate, declaring that it won't affect the fortunes of the party. Makinde said this in Akure, Ondo State, during an interview with journalists at the 10th anniversary of the rulership of the Deji of Akure. Asked to comment on the exit of Atiku from the party, the governor said, "Politics is a game of interest." On whether the Africa Democratic Congress (ADC) poses a threat to the party, Makinde said, and I quote, "I don't see ADC as a threat to PDP." Also reacting to Atiku's resignation from the PDP, former Deputy National Chairman of the party, Chief BODE George, said the former VP's exit from the party has confirmed his selfishness. George, in a chat with Vanguard, advised the former presidential candidate to retire from politics. And that's all on that story. Away from there, let's talk about the Obidients. The Obedient movement worldwide has dismissed speculation of an alleged rift between the presidential candidate of the Labour Party (LP), Mr. Peter Obi, and the acting national chairman of the party, Senator Nenadi-Usman. National coordinator of the Obedient movement, Dr. Yunusa Tanko, dismissed the speculation as baseless and the handiwork of propagandists, hell bent on sowing the seed of discord between the two. Tanko, in the statement he issued on Wednesday, said speculations about the not existent rift, which fondly found its way into media space, have no basis. In response to questions by journalists on Obi's appearance at the Labour Party's gubernatorial flag bearer, Dr. George, over the weekend, Tanko explained that Obi remains a committed and loyal member of the Nenadi-Usman led Labour Party. He further stated that his principal took the decision because it was the right and reasonable place to be after the Supreme Court upheld her appeal on the crisis in the party. The speculation began after Obi attended the flag off of the Labour Party gubernatorial flag bearer, Dr. George Mogalu, in Anambra State at the weekend. Dr. Tanko further explained that Senator Namadi Usman, along with other key stakeholders in this movement, are fully aware of and support the recent developments. Tanko further urged members of the public to disregard the speculation and treat it as mere propaganda built on falsehoods aimed at stirring unnecessary controversies. And that's all we have on the front of stories this morning. Let's end this on a lighter note with Mr. and Mrs. And the first person speaking today is Mr. Mr. says, "You are still behaving like a bushwoman. Don't call me Papa Ife in public, call me baby. That's what modern couples call each other." And Mrs. replied, "You're right. At 70, we are still the latest couple in town, Mr. and Mrs. The 70s couple. They're still, behaving young. I mean, it's actually the right time. The children are grown. Now with their own children, it's time for the couples to enjoy themselves. Well, this is where we have to draw the curtain today. My name is Damnola Ogunshakin. Do well to like and follow us on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. You can also visit our website, www.vanguardngr.com. Have a lovely Thursday.